major move in transatlantic trade, an apparent deal between the United States and the European Union. The preliminary agreement settling on 15% tariffs on most goods, half of the more punishing 30% President Trump had threatened. That leaves Canada looking in from the sidelines ahead of Friday's deadline. CTV's Jeremie Charron breaks it down.
I think it's the biggest deal ever made. Thank you very much.
An agreement between two of the world's biggest economies. President Donald Trump touting the partnership with Europe from inside one of his Scottish golf clubs today.
It's a giant deal with lots of countries because, as you know, Ursula represents a lot of countries, not one country.
European Union President Ursula von der Leyen making the trip to Turnberry, describing this as a framework to end months of uncertainty over trade between two economic superpowers.
That's a huge deal. It will bring stability. It will bring predictability. That's very important for our businesses on both sides of the Atlantic.
The agreement will see EU countries face a baseline 15% tariff across the board and commit to spending hundreds of billions of dollars on American energy and increase its overall investments in the U.S. But experts say another deal with a 15% baseline and no exemption on steel, autos, or aluminum is a bad sign for Canada.
This doesn't portend well, very, very well for Canada. I think we've got to be pushing for more, and I think the government, the Carney government, is correct to be taking this quite slowly.
Canada is still facing a looming Friday tariff deadline that Trump insists won't budge.
The August 1st is there for everyone. The deals all start on August 1st.
As it stands, Canada faces 35% tariffs on goods not covered under CUSMA, but it's unclear if that exemption would continue if a deal is reached.
Keep in mind, Trump has backed away from other deadlines when it came to tariffs, so we'll really have to just see what happens. He talks a very big game.
Prime Minister Mark Carney has suggested a tariff-free deal is unlikely. Experts say a low baseline tariff on non-CUSMA products only would be seen as a win. Heather?
Jeremie, thank you. CTV's Jeremie Charron in Ottawa. This agreement comes after months of tense talks. For more on Trump's trade tactics, we turn to CTV's U.S. political analyst, Eric Ham. Eric, Donald Trump touting this as the biggest deal ever made. What do you make of this preliminary agreement?
Well, we know Donald Trump likes to tout big numbers and being a part of historic numbers. And in this case, he's actually right. We're talking a multi-trillion-dollar economy, and this certainly staves off a massive trade war between two of the largest economies, as well as is good news for the markets themselves.
Eric, now that Japan and the EU have locked in deals, what are the challenges facing Canada's negotiating team?
I think the challenges for the Canadian negotiating team will be very similar to what we saw with the EU. The president oftentimes spoke of walking away from a deal, saying that they didn't need this deal, and clearly that was a lot of posturing. So I think we see a blueprint for how Canadian negotiators should not only handle Donald Trump in these final days, but also what to expect from an actual deal in terms of baseline tariffs.
All right, Eric, so does he stick with the August 1st deadline? We've seen the goalposts move before. Does he seem more firm this round?
I think given the fact that he has such highly touted deals that he can use to bolster, particularly with the EU and Japan, absolutely he does. In fact, knowing how he feels about Canada, I think that date is actually etched in stone for the president.
Eric, thank you.